Many well-meaning activists and people are raising awareness about the issues our world and humanity are facing. That is definitely needed and necessary. However, what is important to understand is that everything we see on a global 3D level, the ongoing wars, atrocities, oppression, loss of freedom, surveillance, corporate greed, fluoride in the water, geoengineering, chemtrails, pharmaceuticals, vaccinations, religious and political corruption, sexual pathologies, racism, mainstream media and entertainment mind control, transhumanism, AI, and so forth, are the creation of or heavily influenced by occult, hostile forces that have been ruling over humanity for thousands of years, using their human puppets to carry out their agenda in classic divide and conquer fashion on unseen levels. Their primary goal and agenda is, and always has been, to keep humanity locked in a frequency prison, feeding off of all the emotional luge that is created through the suffering, polarization, drama, chaos, and fighting between humans, be it on a global level via wars or through interpersonal conflict in everyday life. Divide and conquer. It's about keeping us in a perpetual disembodied state of fear, physical survival, and limited five-sensory perception and indulgence, disconnected from the deeper wisdom of our bodies and our divinity within. Have you ever wondered why there are always wars, atrocities, and various control mechanisms throughout human history, but nothing really changes? It just rearranges with different faces and disguises. Like in a prison cell, the tapestry changes, but the invisible prison is still there. People say, it's just human nature and ego. But have we ever truly questioned the term human nature and everything that we have been told about humanity? We are GMOs. Genetically modified by hyperdimensional alien forces who are the real architects of the Matrix. They see Earth and humans as their property and farm, raising us like cattle to be fed upon. Society and modern official culture as we know it is for the most part an alien-infused creation and not human. It is Wetiko in action. These occult hostile forces, who have been given various names throughout the ages, written about in ancient esoteric teachings, have also infused us with dogmatic religious beliefs and are behind the corrupted pop spirituality of the New Age religion, an alien virus, its pathology that has become normalized. Only focusing on the 3D manifestations of the Matrix will never bring about real positive change, nor will it happen through any of the Matrix institutions. It doesn't matter who you blame or focus on within the 3D level of the Matrix: government, Illuminati, Zionists, Jesuits, bankers, or any corrupted political corporate figure. They are all puppets themselves. Understanding the hyperdimensional matrix control system is critical in this day and age for anyone who wants to awaken and have a better world. Sincere self-work and deprogramming ourselves from consensus reality is also part of it to connect with our divine nature, your sovereign embodied true self, to transcend the mutant matrix. This is the great work. It is not an easy path, for it entails facing our fears, wounds, traumas, and questioning our deep-rooted social and cultural conditioned beliefs and programs. Disillusionment is an inevitable part of the process. Fighting governments and the psychopathic elite on a 3D level alone will not bring an end to wars and suffering, for the elite themselves are just pawns and puppets of hyperdimensional negative forces that fully occupy them. Voting, and therefore giving consent to be ruled over, and believing in the religion of government is also an archonic mind control construct, including the major world religions. They are designed to keep people imprisoned out of their own free will and disconnected from their own inner spiritual authority as they give their power away and become authoritarian followers, always looking outside for solutions and saviors, be it politicians, spiritual, religious leaders, technology, or even aliens that are supposed to defeat the Cabal, the New Age Savior program. Just focusing on ecological environmental issues, GMOs, climate change and so forth, will also never bring about a better world in the long run, for it is just fighting the symptoms. Again, most of what we see as problems to be solved on a 3D level are the manifestations of occult forces that have been ruling over and working through humanity for eons. They act through the shadows and work through us, hidden behind a veil outside our five-sensory perception. It is in their interest to distract us from what is going on, to keep us imprisoned in a frequency prison, locked in 3D physical survival mode and fighting shadows on the wall. Ignorance is not bliss, nor does it serve as a protection. The hyperdimensional adverse forces influence all of us to varying degrees. People who don't understand how the unseen manipulation and control operates, not only in the world at large, but through their own minds, can be used as unconscious matrix agents played like pawns on a grand chessboard without their awareness whatsoever. Don't get distracted by the shadows on the wall. I'm not implying to ignore the 3D issues of our world, but seeing them in the context of a much larger picture. The key to transcending the matrix is not only knowledge of what the matrix is beyond its 3D manifestation, but most importantly, sincere esoteric self-work, shadow work, healing our wounds and traumas, for they are the entry points through which the adverse forces manipulate us. Hence, these occult forces also have a teaching function from the higher perspective of the evolution of consciousness. It is essential not to fall into the victim blame trap, for that is a very disempowering lower state of consciousness these forces want us to get stuck in. Through the process of embodiment, soul integration and soul individualization, we reconnect to who we truly are, our essence, and anchor the higher frequency of love and the divine, connected to our wholeness within and the wholeness of nature. This alchemical process is how we transform ourselves and the world from lead to gold, from our lower egoic self to our divinity and true selves. Love is light is knowledge, and the gateway to receive gnosis, higher knowledge, that cannot be perceived via the five senses or our petty little minds. This process during this time of transition is a descent and ascent at the same time. The path towards awakening spirals up, down, in, out, back and forth, expanding on all levels and bringing up everything. Anything that is asleep and unconscious within us will be put under the spotlight of truth. Everything we have suppressed within needs to be felt, made conscious of, and transmuted at some point in our journey. No one is bailing us out, no leader, no savior, no authority, until we answer the call of the divine voice within, which lies hidden behind the illusory constructs of personality identification. It's a higher state of being, an embodied experience which the mind and intellect cannot come close to comprehending. The differing states of reality experience which manifest within and between human beings during this time of transition is also becoming more and more apparent, and relates to the timeline reality split for some people reinforce and fall deeper into a dream state, while dreaming to be awake, mistaking reality for illusion and illusion for reality, getting caught up in the matrix with all the traps of agreement and lower self-temptations laid out by the hyperdimensional adverse forces. Meanwhile, others start to increasingly and courageously wake up to their true nature, becoming conscious transducers of divine will as frequency anchors within the unfolding of the cosmic plan. There's also no judgment about these different journeys, because the splitting from a higher perspective also reflects the cosmic equilibrium and the vast difference in soul lessons for each human being to embody in this day and age. Essentially, every human being is destined to awaken, each in their own time and individual way, and over lifetimes, as we play out this cosmic drama and comedy. However, we are far away from experiencing any notion of a collective awakening in any near future. So embark on the path, don't give in to fear, don't be afraid of the dark, and most importantly, enjoy the ride. These are intense times, but also exciting times. The only way out is in and through, and there's a light at the end of the tunnel. In fact, the tunnel is made of light itself.